In this short video, I'm going to explain you exactly how to turn your existing audience into 30 to 100 plus qualified sales calls per month by installing a scalable DM Setter operating system with a 2x ROI guarantee in 180 days. It's the exact system that allowed our top clients to scale from 20 to 30K a month to $100,000 plus a month in a time frame of 4 to 5 months in total, averaging an extra $40,000 from their DMs actual in cash by the operating system that we actually installed. Now, I know it's a big, bold claim to have a 2x ROI guarantee within that time frame, but the reason why we're so certain to actually offer that is because these clients actually ROI'd on our program in less than 45 days total. Now, I don't want to set expectations that that is going to happen for you as well specifically, but what we have seen with them is they had a 15 to 20x ROI in the 180 days that they actually have been working together with us. But first, why should you actually listen to me as I walk you through this process and how this actually works? Back in 2022, I actually started my very first B2C consulting offer in a co-partnership with Bastian Slot. Bastian ran a consulting business that was already doing multiple millions per year, and we basically went from $0 to $100,000 in actual cash collected in less than 30 days total. And there's only two things that actually allowed that to happen. Bastian already had a brand, and we knew how to monetize it with appointment setters, where I was responsible for delivering. And in the past 3.5 years alone, I've trained over 1,600 plus appointment setters and have installed frameworks collectively responsible for doing more than 20 million in actual cash with the DM systems and the scripts that I have written. So here you can see a little bit of proof, $108,000 net volume, $103,000 if you exclude the strike fees in the first 30 days of actually launching a B2C consulting offer. We know how to monetize brands. And from there, we actually grew to $500,000 a month for a period of time until we actually broke the business, scaling so fast where after we sustained $300,000 a month for an extended period of time, doing a total of 3.5 million to 5 million in the last 3.5 years alone. 3.5 million just specifically with this business, 5 million if we also add a little bit of the LTV with that and a little bit of B2B deals as well in totality. So here you can actually see that on a different Stripe screenshot as well. I know that you can falsify these things, but behind me is actually a 2CC award. So you can see a little bit of the proof there as well. Not only have I scaled that business with Bastian to what I did, but I also trained again over 1,600 plus setters. And you can see that with the reviews that we actually got here, being market leaders at the time that we actually ran this business until we decided to pivot. Everybody copied us basically in the Netherlands or in the US in appointment setting businesses is because we were the official founders of bringing that inside the market space. Our setters, again, collectively got over 15 to 20 million if you also calculate our own business with that from our DM trainings and systems for the companies that they've actually worked for and what we installed. So what qualifies me to actually do this? I co-founded a multi-7-figure B2C offer. Our own DM systems blew up 2 beta clients in less than 90 days, doing $0 to $40,000 a month in actual new DM cash. I've done op-apps, I've done appointment setting, I brought that up until $12,000 a month. I ran a 7-figure delivery team. I did over 500,000 in lifetime value sales, like getting sales of existing customers for that B2C business, running a 6-figure DM team for our own B2C offer, and I've helped all kinds of people. The paid audience conversion route, but also just the organic route. I've co-generated over 5 million in my B2C venture and helped other companies, again, collect over 15 million in just past 3.5 years alone with these setting systems where we actually placed these trained appointment setters. So who can I actually help? I can help people who already have an audience or are doing at least $20,000 a month with no DM setters or doing it themselves. That's really ICP number one. Whitney, for example, had a crypto offer. Relatively small audience, just 7,140, but a really solid offer, a good brand, but no direct message conversion mechanism. So we started from scratch and brought in $40,000 in cash in just 90 days through DM setters with a relatively small audience. All she was missing was a human touch point with her audience. Combined with data and the processes, we literally installed that. And in a matter of weeks, she ROI'd on her investment in less than 30 days total. ICP number two, people who already run a business with DM teams and make $20,000 to $100,000 plus a month. So Joey was, for example, doing, I think, $25,000 to $30,000 a month. Fitness offer, large audience, really good brand, had a setter bringing in $5,000 a month on average. He thought that that was the pinnacle, that that was able what was to be converted from the DMs. But when we actually installed the right fit, then we scaled his DMs to $40,000 in new DM cash, hitting new record months from him altogether. You can see that on the testimonial as well beneath this video. All that Joey was missing is basically the right infrastructure and the processes to really scale with his DMs. He thought that he already knew it all, which was costing him, as you can see, hundreds of thousands of dollars per year. So we ROI'd in less than 30 days there as well specifically. And then ICP number 3, people already run a business with no DM team and they make $30,000 to $100,000 a month. For example, Tara had an audience of more than 300,000 followers. Female fitness offer for the age of 35 plus. Again, big brand, all organic sales, doing that 25 to 30K purely organic with opt-ins, but no acquisition system, no conversion mechanism. So she went from going from zero in new DM cash, again, also to $40,000 a month consistently in a total of 90 days. Tara knew that DMs was where the money at, but she had zero clue or ideas on how to actually start this process and to successfully monetize it. So we got clear on who to hire long-term. We found 2 talented people through our done-for-you mechanisms in installing setters. We installed the process itself, and then she also ROI'd in less than 30 days total from the day that the setters actually started inside the inbox. So who can I not help? I can't help you if you are not willing to actually invest in yourself. I can't help you if you don't understand what the risk reward is regarding your investment and what time and effort is required to actually make this successful. This is a two-way street. I can't just make you successful by giving you the information. We need to implement it structurally, which is very simple to do, but it still needs to be done. And I can't help you if you're a coaster and you literally need hand holding. Our steps are extremely simple. We have 4 sequences that would explain everything that we do in depth, and we don't stray away from those things. And that's what allows these results that you have just seen above to actually commence and to be achieved in that sense. Everyone else I can actually help, even if you don't know anything about DM setting. If you've never touched your DMs before, leadership wise or conversion mechanisms at scale, all the above clients had zero experience with DM setting or with those things in total regarding leadership on or conversion mechanisms. So how do I help people? I help people with a done with you one-to-one system process installation with done for you hiring. There's a do-it-yourself done for you component with access to calls with me and my team weekly, but I'll walk you through how that exactly works a little bit more in depth below in this video. So the big picture is that I want to start with this because here's the truth. Anyone can, of course, get a random setter, send DMs, or try cold DMs. But the real difference comes from how you use these players and tools in a proven system and framework. This is the map that we literally follow so consistently to generate 30 to 100 plus qualified appointments per month for fitness coaches and consultants. So what you can see here specifically is that you have your profile funnel here. You're going to get those leads in. People are going to start to DM you. And then what we call is we get these leads ready to be in the buyer state of mind. You've likely had this before. You've maybe felt this before. You or your seller was booking sales calls. You maybe went a little bit too quick. There wasn't a real qualification system. We weren't exactly clear on what their goals and problems were. They showed up in the sales calls and they didn't even know what it was for. They thought that it was free. We got all of these basic objections that appointment setter with a solidified process can actually solve for us so that these people, what we call, are coming to our calls in what we call the buyer state of mind, where they are ready to actually make a decision regarding the investment, already exactly knowing what we can specifically help them with and what the outcome is going to be. So from there, we actually have a qualification mechanism where we get people very clear on the GPS. What's your goal? What's your problem? This is the solution. What's the urgency behind you wanting to solve this as well? Then this is what is going to look like, what we have as a solution for you towards what you're experiencing. So there's a little bit of a questionnaire here in front of us, which makes sure that lead actually gets qualified. Then they are actually allowed to book that call. Then they see a VSL with pre-recording materials, pre-call materials, so they get actually more time on brand if you heard of the 7-11-4 rule. And that's where they actually then go ahead and get to the Zoom call after a certain reminder sequence as well to make sure that they are very well nurtured from point A to point Z inside your process, coming in as an unqualified lead to leaving as a paying customer, from which most of our clients experience a pay in full rate above 50 to 60% regarding the leads that the DM setters actually set for them. So instead of me just saying it, you can also watch the full strategy Miro board here inside this specific link. I'll throw it up here beneath the video if you want to watch that. So you get an idea of how it looks. We'll dissect this strategy one by one so you have a full clear vision on how we actually do things. It's a very simple process, but it's extremely effective because with this system, we take cold prospects and transform them into warm, referral quality like leads who are ready to buy before they even get on the call. Again, what we call buyer state of mind. In my B2C business, just to highlight a very quick example, in a season of November 2025, we booked, I think, 800 sales calls before I took over that business in full, before officially shutting that down. And so I started to wonder, what is the reason why we actually booked 800 sales calls, but we only got a certain result? I scaled that back. I went from 3 closures to 1. I fired 2 triagers and I just had 2 setters and a closer at the end of my decisions there. And we went from 800 to 130 calls, but they were all in the buyer state of mind. And we did the same amount of cash in that business with higher profit margins, less management, and less time and energy actually wasted on running the acquisition funnel in itself. And so that's where I discovered and explored the system that I now install with clients. I know I recently just said 2025. I actually took over that business in 2024 already. But yes, I shut that down in August 2025 to fully focus on this venture. So what do you actually get if you work with us? Well, we keep it very simple. We have a done for you setting and hiring and assistance model. We average over 30 separate setter applications per week, and this is how we're able to source setters that fast for our clients and also be able to do it done for you. We have the playbooks for hiring, onboarding, data tracking. We even have our own data tracking system. We have ramping and scaling of setters. And then, of course, we know everything about leadership to make that cohesive and make that work long-term as well. So when you hire that first setter, many of our clients still experience that they're working with the same people inside the company because they're so excited based on the earning potential that we're actually able to offer them. Some setters averaging over $100,000 for one specific business that they're pulling in, translating to $45,000 in commissions just for their reps alone. So weekly access to me and my team on calls separately for the CEOs and managers, and also for the setters themselves. So you can come to a specific call and ask questions regarding any systems or process that we have. But we, of course, also have Q&As for your setters so they can be on top of their game as well and collect you more money in the process. Daily access to me and my team in chat and voice notes. And then we also have our in-house custom data tracker, again, as I said, for our clients. I won't cover this, but I will say this. If you are able to know the exact number of the cash per call that you have inside your company, you can make extremely clear predictions on how many calls you actually need to set, all the way with everything in between in the data funnel that will project what you actually need to do in order to hit those numbers. It calculates the show rate, the cash collection, etc. This is the holy grail number that a lot of people don't know about, that if you have this exact funnel as I show you here, and there's more beneath that isn't showing right now, you'll be able to make extremely clear predictions. And this is the number that you want to focus on if you are the closer, or if you have closers that needs to actually go up together with the entire sales mechanism based off of data. So you also will have access to that. Proactive account management, like feedback, because we can actually see your data and we can see what's going wrong or what's going right and highlight for you what to specifically look at to solve that constraint fast. So not a week goes by when we're having coaching calls or where we have group Q&A calls and we could have fixed that, for example, on Monday while our call was on Thursday, leaving money on the table. And so you also work directly with me and my team in that sense for 180 days because we're extremely proactive with what we do and what we actually coach on to make this all successful. And this is how, for example, Tara, this is how, for example, Joey went from $0 in DM cash, Joey 5,000, but close to zero, to $40,000 and still scaling beyond that as we dial in and plug in this system. So here's the part that you also probably won't see anything else. We're not like an agency. Our goal is to really put you in the driver's seat of your business where the setter is working alongside with you, but then ultimately after those 180 days to 12 months on autopilot, where you can go on a vacation and the sales team still closes. You may literally go away like both Tara and Joey actually did on their holidays, and they came back to the business and they actually collected more cash in their absence than actually when they were within that business because they transferred certain ownership towards those people as well. And of course, we're all building a business to make sure that we can step away from it, enjoy our times for ourselves, and then keep building leverage inside the business that makes it go and scale faster, diversifying responsibilities amongst team members. And so, if you don't have that, you essentially have a very well paid 9 to 5, but we'll also focus on getting you outside of the business as not the core scope of this program, but as a benefit from what we usually see installing appointment setters and installing sales conversion mechanisms that we do. So the guarantee is that we'll guarantee you that you'll double your investment at minimum, or we'll refund your investment. Plus, you keep all the systems and the processes and the talent that we have provided for you in-house, because we're not an agency. We're literally going to help you scale your business. So this guarantee goes both ways. You have to show up to the calls consistently. That's the only thing that we basically ask for. And you have to follow our directions. This way, the system actually works and you will get results. This doesn't take 6 months to be profitable. If your business fits one of the three above examples, will likely or double ROI in 60 days total, as the other clients have done so far based on your branding. But this is what we're able to figure out in a free audit that we'll offer you below this video. So why this process actually works? Because prospects show up pre-sold. Knowing your pricing and trusting you before the call actually even happens. Again, what we refer to as buyer state of mind. That's why the call feels like a quality conversation instead of cold pitches, where your closer first need to do a 20 to 30 minute discovery, getting them clear on what their goals are, what their problems are, if there is any urgency, then transitioning to the offer, and then needing to be able to overcome objections, where it usually turns into a 2 to 3 call close. We also have an extremely high 1 call close rate amongst our clients based on this process. So when you're closing 40 to 60% of your calls like our clients, imagine doubling your revenue without adding a single new lead or needing to generate more leads, just because we have a higher quality of the leads that we already work with. A lot of sales teams would actually say this, what I've experienced even in my companies themselves. It's like, hey, we need more leads. We need higher quality leads. But once we really focused on buyer state of mind, we didn't need more leads. We just spent more quality time on the leads that were already there, converting them in the most efficient way, getting them to the buyer state of mind, and then doing the same cash with less sales calls, less stress on the team, and everything basically went up, including profit. So this is how fitness coaches and consultants, or if you're just a coach, scale to $50,000 to $150,000 a month without wasting time, energy, and resources, because the process is so clear. 180 days, double ROI guarantee, or your money back. And we only take on 5 clients per month. So 5 fitness coaches or 5 consultants. So if you want one of the spots, then book your free audit call below actually today. Don't wait, because every month that you will literally delay, as you have seen, as I just explained with, for example, Tara or Joey, which are the most recent testimonials that have actually just recorded, they were leaving $40,000 a month on the table with the brand that they already have built. So if you recognize that you already are an established brand where you have inbound leads, people come to you, or you have an inbox full of people that you actually converse with, there's money left on the table based on you not having a conversion mechanism. So this is my invitation to you to just book that free audit so we can get clear on what you're specifically missing out on, to see whether this actually makes sense for you. So what I do is I sell people the implementational pathways with a hands-on approach to install the systems and consistently convert and nurture their audience to actually scale their info-based businesses. And so just like I've done repeatedly through my career in the last 5 years, generating a total of 20 million, from which 5 million was actually from the B2C business with a little bit of B2B besides that as well. I've literally done exactly what you want to do. So it only makes sense that if you want to do this, if you want to scale specifically with DMs, because you understand that that human touch point will accelerate the sales that you make working with dream clients, not just a client, but the actual clients that you love to work with, then I can just show you how to actually do that. So the next step for you is to book a zero pressure audit call via the button below. So we'll show you exactly the leaking or missed revenue tangibly before ever proposing a solution on what this all could look like. And so if it makes sense based on the audit, we'll extend you an offer if you are a fit. So without further ado, I would love to see you on the call. If you are thinking that you are a fit, would love to speak to you. Hope to see you inside soon.